Alrighty, so sales team meeting, we're gonna talk about the automation process and some ideas to improve that we will ultimately do at some point in the near future. We don't need to necessarily implement everything immediately because there's a lot on our plate right now.
Yep.
But obviously we wanna make sure that we have a healthy growth and tweak so that we don't let the other stuff kind of hold us back. So, Alberto, if you wanna kind of start telling us while I'm texting Steve, some of the things that you initially talked about. What are some of the issues you're dealing with that are holding you back, so that we can start?
Cool. Yeah. So the first one was just the way the application interacts with Excel. So Monique built this great spreadsheet for us to summarize and put together a note for her to help both sides. But the first piece of it, when you look at the application, let's say I get 10 new borrowers, I'm going to that application to take all that information off and put it in the spreadsheet.
Okay.
So I'm gonna look into it. I know that Monique said there's software, I've seen it myself, where it goes from Excel and says, give me this field from PDF, give me this field from PDF. So if I say, give me the Social Security field, it'll automatically populate into Excel.
So one of the goals is software to auto-populate, right?
Yes. Because then at that point, all you're really doing is putting in a note, and you just provided a synopsis to processing and underwriting.
Let me ask you a question. If there's something that can take it from auto-populate from PDF to Excel,
Yes.
is it the PDF that has been scanned, or is it the PDF that's actually a PDF that's editable?
It's a PDF, and all it does is it goes to the field you tell it to go to. So it's going to go to that same field every single time.
Right, but you know how, like, if let's say I print the paper.
I don't think it matters if it's.
It doesn't matter, really?
If it's locked or
Wow.
unlocked. Because we used to get, and that's how I know when I was in the corporate world, we used to get PDFs from some of the depositories, and they're locked. You can't edit them, and all it would do is just run the macro. It would continue to go to those same locations and say, give me this number, return this number, or return this data, and it goes to Excel and populates everything.
Okay, so question, if that happens, I mean, if we can get that, I think that's smart for a lot of other purposes, not just that.
Yeah, it can be for.
The only concern that I have is most of the applications that we do get from repeat clients have old property information.
Yeah, all we want is, all I'm looking for is the top piece of it, the borrower's information, Social Security, their driver's license information, date of birth, name, the information for their company, like all that stuff that we would get from there can go straight into the Excel spreadsheet.
Okay, so
The
borrower
property
info,
Yes. The
not
property
necessarily
information
the
is us.
deal info. So you can add the property.
Because typically you've talked about the address already and the subject property. You've already talked about it with them, so you know what it is and you can just write that down.
Okay, so really our goal is to just populate the.
Especially the first 2 pages is what we want to get all into that, and then we can talk about accuracy of page 3 because that's where you run into issues where they're, like you said, the subject property information is wrong or they mess it up.
Yeah, that seems to be a common problem that we're dealing with here. Okay, so that's basically the automation. What else in the process do you guys feel we would need to figure out to speed up or make things easier for everybody? I mean, I think the overall answer long-term is to set up where we can get a web page that's password protected, where people can input the data and digitally apply, and it populates the data into our field, into our back office.
Yeah.
That would be great, but we're not there right now. The only reason why that would be beneficial is because then it repopulates all this stuff. So you just fill in the rest. And
well, yeah, you can also build in the by adding it into this bot, you'll electronically sign in and authorize, blah, blah, you can add all of that, so you don't have to worry about an actual
so the app's
signature.
done. Yeah. Then the only signed paperwork is the approval letter.
Yeah.
So one thing that I've been meaning to do for quite a while, and it's probably the state in that status for another while.
What is it?
But is through HelloSign, we can actually create our loan, and we basically had individuals apply by just clicking a link that directly takes it to them.
Okay, so HelloSign.
I just haven't done it because.
So what are you doing at HelloSign? What would help the process?
So basically, we can create a template that is linked in, so it has a unique. You need a link to HelloSign, so like if you want to embed it, or like for instance, even send it to your client, they can click that link and then automatically just fill out our application.
And who does it go to?
it would basically, I haven't looked into it, but it would probably go back to the user that sent it, or you might be able to CC it.
Okay. So we just have to build the template on HelloSign where it auto-populates. You just click on the link. And that would be the full app, just pre-filled, comes back to
They
whoever.
can sign.
And then that data would be in a PDF, but it would be a much better PDF than
Yeah.
some handwritten crap that you
Yeah.
can't even read.
Well,
That's
that
what I would feel.
way that, because like the way that I do it right now is I like actually go on and input their name. I have template in it, but I go and actually input their name, and sometimes I don't feel like doing that. So like it's easier to just send them a link and then they can fill out their own information.
Okay. So what has to be done on this? Is it
I
that?
just have to create the template. Just been lazy.
So what he's saying is he's gonna buy a 6-pack and just stay for one day. Tinker
He's
with
gonna get
it.
it done.
Maybe.
That's normally how stuff
All right,
happens.
Or I was
Melissa.
gonna make Melissa do it.
She'll have the 6-pack.
Hey.
Wait, what about a 6-pack?
All right.
Six-pack abs?
So we'll figure that out. So maybe we put that on the to-do list. Any other ideas of automation, simplification?
Is there anything that we can think of from the perspective of interns, like stuff that we can help them with? Like, is there anything we can help them do? Like, I know some of the information we're giving them now is just
Yeah.
bits and pieces until they're ready for the next one, but is there anything else we want to give them?
You know, I think for the interns, we just give them that spreadsheet that says Monday through Friday, this is your focus.
Okay.
And then we have the data in it. Because I mean, look at it from the perspective of Manny.
Mhm.
We told Manny, do this and this. He's freaking knocking on doors.
Yeah.
And he's setting up applications already for you. Aasoja-Wolff is doing the exact same thing right now.
Yes.
So you saw that, man. I'm freaking, she set an appointment. I'm talking to some dude and I thought, I don't know what the freak this is. They go, yeah, pull up my public records. I've done over 100 deals. So I'm like, okay, crap. How did you get that? He said, I don't know how she got me. I was talking to somebody else. And so she talked to somebody else and got them and they set it up.
That's awesome.
So I think we just give them Monday through Friday, 2.5 hours a day.
Mhm.
This is exactly what you need to do for this 2.5 hours. And then you can, come on in. And then you can implement, then we can implement that.
Yeah.
So if anything, worst case, what we need to do for the intern, based on the conversations that we're having, is the intern task list.
Yeah.
And honestly, I don't even know if I would call it an intern, because I think if we all did that same tool, or we did Monday through Friday, we micromanage just 2.5 hours of everybody's day, we would be killing our production right now.
I can just call it the task list or to-do list or whatever you want to do. It doesn't have to be
Look,
intern.
you can tell me all day long theory. What I look at is performance. And let me give you guys perspective. Today is the second day of November. Second day. We have over $1.9 million in the pipeline. And that's before I put in the 2 deals that Yuri just sent over to Sam that he CC'd me on. That's about another $600,000-$700,000.
Judy Gomez?
Judy. That's performance, man. And that's because everybody's putting at least 2 hours of sourcing each day. If we do that every day, that tracking sheet is going to be incredible for us. I just need to figure out how do we automate it so that it's in one place online where everybody can just log in on their week and you don't have to worry about, okay, I got my own spreadsheet. Do you see what I'm saying? If we shared it kind of like we're doing with the other Google Docs, you can see what's going on. Make it a fun competition. And say, hey, today I called, this is my list.
So we can finalize in front of Google Docs.
Yeah.
It's easy.
So if we do that,
sit down and finalize.
then we just have one for each, then it's a tab for each team member.
Yeah, no, that's what my goal was to do it to the
Yeah.
point where all of it was like that, because
Okay.
it's already got all this is the real estate offices. We would have one for property management. We just have to get the data, title companies, contact sources. So this is everybody would just be putting stuff in, but it would all start here. And you
Yeah, see
click
that?
your name,
Yeah.
You would go there and click.
So
your
we
name.
just, how about this? What if, and we'll meet about this afterwards. So you can, okay.
Right now it's only 3 people because
Yeah,
that's what
yeah.
we're testing, but you can choose that here, then you can choose members.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Members and then BS out.
Yeah, put them as teams, team
Yes.
1, team 2, team 3.
Exactly.
I think we need to do that, and in fact, instead of just saying it's an intern, I think we should all implement this, because
Yeah, no,
this is gonna be very helpful
I
in us identifying. I mean, Melissa, I go to Melissa, how many referrals went out? I don't know. She's trying to find out from everybody onesies and twosies. This would also help to see production. When I say, what are the goals? Are we off? What is the feedback? I can't give any feedback or help on some of those pitches because I don't know. But when you bring them to me and we sit down and we deal with it, then we close the deal. We know what the issue was. We deal with it right on the spot. Same thing with some of the clients that Alex had that are now coming in and doing really good. we all kind of have to work through it. So I would almost say instead of an intern, I'm going to cross it out. So Melissa, basically our goal right now is Alberto is going to find the goal for the software. Yes. Okay. How long do you think it'll take you to find out?
Probably a couple of days, 2
Okay.
days at the most.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try to find the free stuff first.
So let's
of
put
course.
that 2 to 3 days. Alberto's going to look into it.
Okay.
2, Alex is going to help us to look into the hello sign.
I'm doing that right now.
He's doing it right now.
I'm gonna
So
say I can bring a 6-pack and we can do it together. Get 12-pack.
give you a little
Oh, I
box
thought you
of
meant
vino.
like 6-pack abs. Yeah.
Really?
You got it?
And then on the task list, Alberto
You're fine.
will put it together.
I actually figured that it already pre-populated these fields for me, so.
Alberto, the problem is, Alberto, this is the issue with this one. Is it something that we can finish it and then we just send her the sheet and she uploads it in Google Docs, or is it gonna need a lot of coding?
No, it's gonna be over. So all we have to do is this piece of it, and then Melissa can control it.
Okay.
But we just have to put a little bit of thought into how we want it to look and what functionality we want it in. Because like I said, I can put it to where you can type in a zip code and it can tell you all of the offices. Like that's actually possible. But we need to do we want that? Is that too much information?
I think it might be, we'll have
Because
to
you're talking,
consolidate.
let's say you type in Tampa, some of those offices in that zip code are like 400. Do they need to see all that?
Yeah.
Or do we want to say, show me the first 20? Or so those are the kind of things we will need to walk through. Because once you figure that out, then I can write the formula
Okay.
for it.
All right, so let you and I do that this week. At least get the main master spreadsheet.
That might be first time.
What happened? Oh, next week, that's right.
Well, because tomorrow I'll be in Tampa all day with Manny,
That's right.
and then Friday I'm in business.
Everyone's going to Tampa tomorrow. Guy's on his way to Tampa right now.
All right, so here's what we'll
down
do.
there tomorrow.
You guys will see each other. So what we'll do is next week, Melissa, if you can put on the schedule,
Okay.
Alberto and I will get together, we'll finalize a master spreadsheet. Once we agree, then we'll upload it into the Google Docs and we'll share it with everybody. And that way, Monday through Friday, everybody has a game plan of the time they're gonna come in. I don't care what time you do it. What I care about is that we do it for that 2.5 hours. Everything else, you do whatever you want. Use your own ways of doing it, whatever. But that 2.5 hours, if we're focused on that game plan, we can really start seeing results. And somebody say, listen, I've called these offices, it's just not working. Okay, what's not working? And then we either say, you know what, it's not working, let's get rid of it. It's a waste of everybody's time. Or we say, you know what, this is the pitch. We found the pitch for this is opening the door. And so we can incorporate that. So next week, Melissa, we can take care of the task list. So that automates our task for the week. Hello Sign automates our application for somebody filling it in, which will make it easier for everybody. And then you're going to help us to take the integration software that basically takes that application, puts it into the submission sheet, so that all you have to worry about is manually entering the property information. That should eliminate a ton of work.
And then once we get them finalized, once we get an applicant to fill it out correctly, you don't have to do anything. Literally, it'll run the macro and go all into Excel. The only thing you're putting in is a tweak of the formula if you need to. So
Okay.
let's say you got a custom deal, then you would have to touch it. But other than that, you wouldn't.
Okay.
So
Okay.
everything should be in there.
What other automation process do we need that we could refine?
Anything you guys want?
I don't know that it's really necessary, but you're talking about like more security and stuff like that.
Yep.
What I've seen a couple other lenders do is they create a company Dropbox link, and then basically you go directly to their company lockbox or Dropbox, and then you upload your files, and then it only you have to log in to Dropbox to take them out.
You mean for like all the,
So for instance, if I had a new file, I could say, hey, here's all the remaining items that you need, but you have to upload them in the Dropbox.
okay, so basically like a lock, Dropbox. Let's look into that.
But I had
I
one
will-
client actually do it to me because he's like,
Yeah, no, my CPA, that's all he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all he does.
he just
It's super annoying for me because I hate using it, but
yeah.
it's for protection. I will say this, we've looked into, because the attorney had me check into our software. Our software for Teamwork seems to have some pretty strong protection. I think it's every 10 seconds, they automatically back up your information also.
Oh,
It's
nice.
ridiculous.
What do you mean?
They have like auto sync. Like every 10 minutes, it's syncing to another server as a backup flood, which makes me feel good about our documents.
It's good.
It's also protected by the
Well, you paid
actual,
for that, didn't you?
yeah, I did. And it's also
Was that
protected
like there was that
with
one
the
time where
Amazon
they did everything?
servers, yeah. Remember that? That was insane.
Sorry.
So we'll look at, yeah, go for it. Yes, yes. So we will look at that to see if it works. But the reason why I say that is worst case scenario, Dropbox has an integration with Teamwork. So we need to look into that to see if it's
Interesting.
married in it. So then if you upload it in a file and it's got the right address, it may actually populate that information in there somehow. So let me just look into that.
Yeah, then maybe
Teamwork.
it might be able to just directly load the Teamwork. I forward all the emails to Teamwork anyways.
All right, so we'll look into that as well. Let's make that a goal for next week, just to look at it later, towards the end of next week. Who's gonna take on that? You, Melissa?
Oh, you do it.
So Melissa and Alex, okay.
Like nerdy stuff like that.
Yeah, we have an integration in Teamwork. They did it with Google Drive. I think you have Dropbox and some other few ones that were there. But I think Dropbox has come to, with security.
Well, you'd hope so. It is like an enterprise document sharing program, so.
Yeah. And surely my accountant would not be using that if it didn't have the security measures.
Well, maybe not. Maybe goodness.
No, he's good. Alrighty, so I think so far from this meeting, we have the pieces that we need. Alberta will push towards the software. Alex will look at HelloSign and tweak it so we can all have an app.
I'm already done.
Oh, you really? Wow, is that fast? Okay.
I don't know what you're only doing that.
6 months of, look at that. One of these days is none of these days, Alex. All right.
Okay, corny motivational.
Hey, man.
Can I hang them up all over your office?
There is something that I want to hang up in my office, though.
Any other input? Any other ideas for automation? Steve, on your side, is there anything that you think could help?
Hey, Rick,
Yeah.
can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah, we can.
It's like Jesus.
One of the things I talked about with Melissa today was the fact that I just noticed a lot of stuff at the end of loans. The more work you can do on a loan up front, i.e. documentation, everything that the loan needs, the more work you do up front, the less you're going to do on the back end. So technology can help you, but setting the expectation for borrowers and businesses that I need all this information to make a final decision, not moving things to the closing table, not trying to add documentation as you go, really packaging a nice, neat loan before you put it in is going to make, will also help your process a great deal.
Yeah, correct. There was a software that we used to use. Even though it was a little bit annoying, it had a dashboard so the borrower could log in and see what pending conditions there were, but it only worked if you did it. If you manually put, okay, we got this done. And because it didn't integrate with our Teamwork, it was double entry, so nobody used it. And so therefore it died because it was super expensive for a user. And so, but ideally that would have been a great checklist because they can see the date that it was checked off and they see what's left with date lines. And that was actually amazing. If there was a way to create a visualization for the actual borrower to see here's what's left.
Kind of like the pre-approval checklist in
Yeah.
some type of software.
Yeah, because if you remember last meeting, everybody had a complaint about that. How do we make it simple? So we built in the checklist of conditions into the approval letter and in the application, so they see the checklist both times. So that was helpful, but people still miss the mark, right? So the benefit to something like this is when you say, hey, 3 of 8, well then there's still several pieces left that need to be done if you want to get your deal funded. So when somebody sees that, they're like, oh crap, what's left? What do I need to do? So I don't know how we can automate some of those steps to create that. But maybe at some point in the future, there'll be technology, and for now, we just send them the checklist.
There should be some like online task list thing that might
There is.
generate or go into Gmail. Sure, there's something. There is something called Google Keep, but I think you might have to get to sign up to be a user for it.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, but the problem is there's so many logins for clients.
No, I obviously would have to be something that just is like a link that they can click on. I mean, they don't have to.
And you know what would be great? You know how ProsperWorks has the drag and drop capability for the deal from one stage of the sale to the other? What if there was a place where the investor could see that it's moved from one stage to another? You know, so man, now they're going, oh man, I'm here, and then you can say, hey, I'm in this final stage. I can't close your deal until you give me the checklist we gave you.
It shows
But they see the progression.
60%, 80%.
Yeah, because if you look at the sales process, I mean, when you guys drag and drop, you see the deal go from application to processing to clear to close. So how could we? There's no way for that to create like a platform for somebody to see that.
I mean, we could definitely look into it.
Because that would be, I think, the next piece that would make it. I think for a client to get all the files that you need, they need to see
Like a link
the
to have
light at the
access.
end of the tunnel.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Even with your passive investors. I mean, I think if they saw right now, like even Jose or whatever his name is, if he saw like, hey, this is the one thing we're waiting on for the deal to close, then he's like, hey, what do I do instead of waiting 3-4 days before they fill it out and do the final step? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just don't have a platform that does that. I mean, Be in Touch was amazing. It had that capability, but it was also very clunky and very like 1990s technology.
Yeah,
You know,
like-
the back office was terrible.
Okay, well,
But how it worked and how it reflected for the client was amazing. I mean, and even if you were a referral partner and they were added, if it was your referral, you could actually have your own login back office and you can log in and see which one of the deals are in there and what stage of the sale they're in. And it automatically did it for the referral partner and for the borrower separately.
What if you talk to Teamwork? I mean, is that something they could
I
expand?
don't think they've sent us a wish list of what they're fixing.
Yep.
Remember that? That's a monster. They have TKO, it's called TKO. And they put so much time and money into that, and none of that is going to benefit what we're doing. I mean, it's going to enhance in-house what we do, but it's not going to enhance the customer experience. Not unless if you're going to use their ticket software. That's more for support. But
There's no way to just like we do with our investor profiles where we add people in so they can see everything that's going on. There's no way to add them in.
is that you, Sam? That sound like a sales rep for Be in Touch?
yeah, you actually really do.
They should pay me $200,000 a year to sell it.
I think you and Bonnie were,
Bonnie left the company after we quit.
really?
Yeah.
Well, what is she doing?
Well, we had a nice conversation. I basically I told her, and she's like, why are we going to lose you? Because we had a bunch of accounts. We were paying actually a lot of money a month.
All
I think it was
right.
like close to 100 and something per user per month. And we had everybody on there.
And that was what software?
It's called Be in Touch.
Oh, yeah. I think when I started,
Yeah, when you started, we just cut it off. But it was awesome. The follow-up series.
Look at.
So let me
When
see.
Steve
This is
comes
the-
in and they're like, yeah, this really awesome software.
So
And
you
he's
just
like,
click
what?
this link, and then you just go to it, and then I can pull it up.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah.
All right, so we have the
That's funny.
hello sign is done.
I've literally been thinking about doing this for like 6 months.
Somebody notes it back and it was like that.
Yeah, look at
Well, I
that.
just have
Yeah.
a Red Bull, so.
That's what it is. He's,
Oh, so
he's
that's
high.
better, so
He's high on Red Bull.
Yo, please. No, last night I had too much wine.
Would you mind sending one to Sam, to Guy,
There was.
and to Alberto and Melissa? Let's take a look and see if
Yeah, but here's the deal though.
who does it go to?
I think it just goes to me.
Ugh.
Whoa.
No, because
I
then you're
find that
gonna,
offensive.
no, you're gonna be upset.
Don't.
when-
Ugh, me?
Ugh.
Like what? Who am I?
anyone,
Cow liver?
Alex.
Come on, Alex.
Jesus. So, but if Melissa were to do the same thing, I think that
Yeah.
it would go to her, and that would probably be better. And she's always on these.
I'm always on
Melissa's
what?
like, no.
I'm always on what?
Your email.
That's true.
You're like.
Yeah, but it's gonna make a bottleneck for
She
her.
even checks email.
Who in our department could help us with that? Monique is definitely not the
Oh,
right
yeah,
person right now. She's got to work on these files. This is just gonna be a distraction for her.
Wait, what are we
What
talking
do we
about?
just check? What am I checking?
If somebody applies, that the application needs to be sent to somebody.
And what do I do with it?
How do you know? Is there a section there that says who the loan officer is?
No, it doesn't.
Can we add another field that says who is your representative?
Yeah, but I mean, okay, people are gonna pay for that.
I don't know.
Well, so
If we make it mandatory, maybe.
okay, so hold on. So well, Sam likes doing the paper thing anyway, so he's good.
Did you hear that, Sam? You're already being discounted.
No, he said he likes it that way. So.
You like the old school paperwork.
Oh
Sticks with
shit.
what you know.
What was that?
Yeah, just leave it.
All right.
Let me just make sure.
So other than that, there's no other automation ideas, comments. Sam, do you have any input on anything else that we can improve upon? I'm just getting a wish list. Oh, he just dropped off. So I guess there's nothing he wants to do. There's nothing else that we can prove?
Hey, Rick.
Yeah.
I just want to re-emphasize my point on that whole thing isn't about technology and population. I mean, all that stuff comes from programming, but you know, if you're not setting the expectation and getting everything you need up front, then you're the one who's going to cause the deal problems in the end.
Yeah.
I know borrowers forget stuff, and I know that we deal with a lot of borrowers who are haphazard, but it's still, I think, our responsibility to make sure we're communicating that and letting them know without these documents, we're not going to be able to approve loans and meet closing deadlines without that upfront cooperation.
Yeah. We do, and again, what my only concern, I mean, it's not concern, is I think everybody in our team is pretty effective at telling the guy that. The question is, the translation of what you say. So I may say something, everybody in this room perceives something totally different. And I think that's what happens in many cases. People get confused of what you say, and then they just do what they think you said. So what I like about a checklist is, we can put in a very big letter saying, hey, without this, we can't close. And then saying, this is what we have so far, this is what's left. And so if you do that, then I think that'll help. I don't know what else we could possibly do to make sure that that translation is understood in every language, if that makes any sense.
It does, but if there's outstanding stuff and you're relying on waiting on them to get to it, there should be, you can set up follow-up reminders in ProsperWorks. You can do it on your calendar, anything to keep following up with those folks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I think maybe, the only other improvement on that side would be just to make our checklist a little bit more clear, maybe. Because other than that, we already have on our, as far as technology side, I believe when you transfer from one stage of the sale to the next, it even pre-populates task reminders. Is that correct? Or did we shut those off?
No, we shut them off.
We shut them off because then it was just like so much
You got your
that you transfer them to one thing, and it freaking fills in your to-do list for the next 3 months.
Ooh, so to add insult to injury, I actually did this in January.
Oh, you are crazy. Wow.
11 months.
11 months, Alex, of procrastination.
Happens.
Gave yourself too much credit by saying 6.
Melissa, write them up.
I lied to myself.
Is she doing good?
Yeah, she probably potentially has a refinance.
Oh, really? Already?
Cash out refi for a condo, free and clear, 1,500 in the Kissimmee area. So I'm gonna run the numbers for her and send it back.
Wow. Good
This
job.
guy, you must have really struck something good with this guy. It's just from David.
Who's David?
David.
Oh, he already brought you somebody?
Yeah.
Wow. Dude, I'm telling you, man, when people come in, they get sold.
He said, yeah, you just talked to my counterpart. I'm with Altura, blah, blah, blah. I have this client who's looking at a deal in Bridgeville. Is giving them a runaround. Can you see if you can help them out?
Wow. So we have 2 deals
Literally it's an hour.
within an hour. I'm telling you, it's worth walking through our property. And by the way, Guy, you know what I was going to tell you? I just thought of something. If you're going to go out there and pitch it, especially to referral partners, this is something that I think would separate. You know how you said, hey, what makes us different than a hard money lender? If you can actually showcase our process for some of the loans that we're working on and actually show them in the computer. Let me show you from start to finish what our process looks like so that you understand how we come about getting an application to funding. And maybe even then a passive investor post-closing will buy our paper. Even to that point where you're showing the seat on everything we offer. What we could do, and I'm going to put, this is automation right here too, actually, Melissa, if you can put this on the thing. We can create 3 samples, which are basically, it's got all the files completed. It's got 3 or 4 different deals so that a guy can basically have access to it. Same thing with all the interns. And basically, the whole purpose, because for example, right now, a wholesaler guy came here, he's been burned by other hard money lenders. Didn't want to work with them. Remember, he came in here all upset, and he got screwed. I took him to my office and I basically told him this is the expectations. And now, as a wholesaler, I think it's important for you to understand our back office, how we work. So then we showed him the files, how we manage, here's a communication, here's our task list, here's our files when we do our diligence, and that's why it's important for you to do this. The only thing I didn't show him was the investment analysis, but you did. So within an hour of him seeing that, he left the office and he's already submitted a deal for us to fund. So that closes the gap between what makes you different than all the other lenders. Hey, how many lenders have actually shown you our process, how we do it, how we work, and how we help you to be more successful? And I think if you're sitting there doing one-on-one with these offices and you come in and say, hey, can I borrow your login online? Okay, let me go in. And you pull in those projects and you walk them through the files, the tasks, the files, the messages, everything else, it becomes real to them. It comes to life. I know you do use that right now for investors, don't you? Mm-hmm. So I think if we did that on the sales side, it would showcase the whole process of what we offer. And Guy, it'll give you more substance than just conversation too. Because then you're going, hey, look at this file. Look at the message thread. Look at all the issues. Hey, look, the value was challenged here. You know what I'm saying? Give you some scenarios that give you reasons to talk about how we do it, so that this sales guy is going, oh my gosh, I found the best thing I could possibly find. I'm going to work with these guys. What do you think? Do you think that would help you in your presentations?
I like it a lot. And Melissa and I were talking about presentations today, and I was wanting to have, the presentations you do, anything that we can have, whether I'm sitting in front of one person, a group of three, or I'm making a presentation to an office. I want to be able to do that. If I say I walk into an office tomorrow and someone says, actually starts having questions, I want to be able to open up my computer, give them the small presentation, do things like you just said. Well, let me show you how this last loan worked, and then be able to do, I can do the calculator now, which is great, but the more that, I can have in my arsenal on my computer that I can show people, again, if it's one person I'm sitting with, 5 or 10 or 20, I want to be able to do that for everyone I come in contact with right there on the spot.
Okay, so why don't we do this? We can easily next week, let's just put it for next week, because right now it's ridiculous, but next week we can create 3 clones of actual projects. The only thing I'll ask is, when it comes to credit and certain information, when you're presenting, do not click on view. But what we could do is, for those, we can actually put all the project notes, all the tasks, everything will be there, so you can show them tab by tab what we do. Here's a loan. Here's 60 documents that we have here that we've collected in our diligence. So understand, we go through a process, right? Then in that project, we can put the project analysis, which breaks down the difference of cash versus the loan product that we offer. And then I can give you a market analysis based on that zip code, like we normally do. So you just click, hey, look at the market data. Boom. Whenever they see that all in one project, and you can show them 3 examples, you are 1,000% different than everybody else.
Love it.
All right, so I will make sure that we put that in there next week. We'll put those 3, give access to you. I'll give access to the interns too, so they can use the same project. And they're just going to be clones of the actual project. That way, if something happens or if you delete a file by accident, we have the originals, obviously, saved. We can definitely do that. That'll automate your sales presentation, I think. In fact, what Steve's done in the past is, in that project we cloned, remember, we also put your presentation in there. So you just go to that one project, click on view on the PDF, and you've got all the information that you need to show that client on the spot.
We just talked about today too, to give them all that, and including all of us, if we just add one other piece on that, where is that money coming from?
Exactly.
And this is the middle winner in the equation.
Exactly. We need to think about, how do we integrate that so it's seamless? Maybe what we do is a visual, and that's where we tell. Let's talk about an infograph next week. Let's find a guy that does really good infographics to show the cycle of a transaction, which shows money comes in, or the client comes in, applies, goes through our process, our loan officer, processing, underwriting, quality control, approval. We fund it, and then we hold it or we sell it to another individual investor. That creates the circle that you can show to every client, and that infograph sells to active or passive investor at the same time.
And everyone walks away winning, high fives, and let's do it again.
Yep. So let's put an infograph that basically creates a circle of life.
I just want to sing that song now.
I know. Go ahead, we're recording.
No, you wouldn't want to record that.
All right, so the circle of a deal from start to resale of the note, we can incorporate that as an infograph that's really simple and pretty into these templates, into our PowerPoints, and into everything that we do, so that whether you're a borrower or passive investor, you go, wow, I get the model. This makes complete
And we're
sense.
all talking about every aspect of the business.
Every
time.
aspect of the business is being pitched every time.
Yep.
I love that
I
idea.
do too.
Kind of
So,
like the supply chain cycle of
yeah,
of this. Instead of credit to grade bill, it's credit to credit because the process starts all over again. If they do buy the note,
and yeah,
pay it off, and then they buy another
Yeah.
note.
the reality is, if we do this right, every webinar can have this,
Mhm.
because people like to know the whole factory. So today, and that's actually what we're doing, so we're gonna show the factory from start to finish, so you understand, and you'll find out where you fit in a part of the factory. And we could literally show them, here's how referral partners impact the business. These are wholesalers, agents, whatever. They flow in here and bring opportunities to our experts. Our experts take the file, take the app, approve the client, go through processing. Processing vets the property. Underwriting vets the client, and so it just goes into this funnel. And in the end, it comes back to, and then a passive investor, just like you, buys the paper from our company in our portfolio of millions of dollars.
Yep, and I think all of us as human beings, we always think that there's got to be some loser for someone to win.
Yep.
Somewhere down the road, and now they're seeing everyone
And they
win.
see the win-win-win all the way
So
around.
the only loser is the
I
person
think
who
that
doesn't invest.
that is the ultimate pitch.
That's the way to say it, is like the only loser is the person who doesn't invest. Or is
Exactly.
on the sidelines, like,
I love
jump
this.
in.
I love this.
Exactly.
I love this. I think we need to make that infograph and make that a part of every pitch that we offer, every introduction. That should be the introductory. Before we talk about funding your deal, before we talk about passive investors, let's show you the factory. Let's show you behind the scenes so that you understand how the business works. And an infograph that looks so pretty, so, you know what I mean? Like, because some infographs are just ugly and you don't even understand it. It's got to be like, wow. It's got to be an infograph that you see. So let's look into that. I think that'll really be solid. Just like when somebody comes to my office now, I still use this till this day. We spent money on building this capital city. And I've had a couple of people say, well, can you tell me more about, obviously you have a nice office, but what about your experience? And I pull out the city. And I'm like, see this? This represents the projects we've been involved in. And people are like, oh, wow. Okay, let's proceed. I mean, the credibility with a visual illustration is ridiculous. So we need to find a way to do that, to show the factory from start to finish. I think that would be. And then what we can do is on the funnel on the other side is show institutional, individual investors and holding in our funnel. And I think if they see like, wow, these guys have ridiculous amounts and investors are coming in, people will say, okay, I feel like these guys have enough money so I can trust them to fund me. And the passive investors going, oh my gosh, I'm just a drop in this bucket, but I get to capitalize on this whole machine. Here's my money, let's go. So I think that's super strong. And Steve, you can pitch that with your eyes closed.
Yes.
Guy can go out there and he's gone right now. But
He literally went out.
hey, guy's already out there doing it. He's like, I'm drawing the infograph right now.
He said, sold.
He's presenting it.
Yeah. So I think that would be, yeah. And then what we could do is if the infograph is really that good, we can make it a canvas painting and put it somewhere in the office so when somebody comes in, they can see the wall of, in fact, we'll probably put it here. We've been meaning to actually kind of find a way to replace this. So we could probably make it really sharp.
Would it be cool too, like from a credibility perspective? Like people
Yeah.
always ask, like, what do you do? If you put something like that on the website and say, you want to know who I am? Here you go.
Yeah.
Not to boast, but for your credibility purposes, just to hey, not only have I done this, but I've done it right, and this is my proof.
Yeah.
Because I've always get this. So what's your website? What do you guys have on there? I'm like, don't go to the website, just come talk to us and we'll show you everything.
Yep.
It's easier.
I think that's a way that we can circulate the whole business model without, like Alex talking to a client and then be like, well, do you want to be a passive investor? Then it just feels awkward. But if you show them the operation and say, take a look at how our office works. If you want to be passive, we have somebody in this division that handles this. If you want to be active, here's what we do. And so it's an easy evergreen pitch.
That's why I literally, I say the introduction and I say, nope, I'm not gonna answer your question, just talk to Steve.
Yeah.
I don't answer any more questions, I just
Yeah.
talk to Steve.
Yeah.
'Cause-
But that's great, because then Steve is able to then follow up and,
That was yesterday.
Well, it
He
doesn't
was
allow
like,
them to
tell
say
me more
no.
about
Yeah,
what I
it
have to
doesn't
do
allow them
next.
to say
And I
no
was
to
like,
you.
let me give you Steve's card.
oh, who was that?
The girl from.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Thompson's.
I did call her.
Did you?
Yeah, so she's her grandkid, but I'll follow him.
Okay, so everybody got some good ideas of what we're gonna do? The sample projects, that's easy. We just gotta pick 3 or 4 examples that we like. The hard part is gonna be getting an actual legitimate infograph person that can kill it. So ideally, if you can help us look, we have, he can give you Odesk, which is
That
now.
was one of the things I was supposed to do anyway, so.
Melissa, take over. Murder him.
I can do it.
Let's look it up online. 5R, whatever it's called.
No, not that.
No, which one was it?
I would try Elance or,
Okay, Upwork. Just go to Upwork. We have an account.
Upwork is a lot of foreign people. Elance is more American.
Okay, look at Elance.
I
We have
wouldn't deal with frickin'.
go to Elance, create an account for us.
We have one.
Oh, we do? Okay, give her the Elance account.
Well, Louise did.
I don't know what it is. So let's make a new one. And let's find an infograph person that has actual work that we can look at, that we're like, I love it. I don't want to just tell somebody my vision. I want somebody that can show me something that inspires me to say, that's what I want. I want it like this. I don't care if it costs $10.
Is there?
I was gonna say.
You like that, huh? As I was saying it, I'm like, okay, addendum. So, other than that, any other comments, questions, input?
No, I'm
Everybody excited about this?
that'd be cool content to have.
Yeah.
I really would.
So we'll work on that. Alberto, you help me with those 2 pieces.
Of course.
Melissa's gonna help out with the app piece, the projects we can develop. And Steve, whenever I create this project, I'm gonna give it to you as well.
I want to learn it.
Because then you can actually, you're gonna use it for the passive investor anyway.
I know.
But then
a picture.
you got more to show.
Then they see the whole picture. Absolutely.
We just have to analyze, do the market analysis on there and do the investment analysis with the software, so that there's always an investment analysis visual, and there's always a market analysis for those 3 properties showing the zip code data.
Awesome stuff.
No, JD, he sent me another client.
Oh, did he? Wow.
Yeah, somebody from Tampa, but he quit his job.
He just quit his job?
He quit his job, he started a business, and he sells software during the day and he does Uber on the weekends. I'm like, dude, why the hell are you not coming back here?
Yeah, why aren't you working with
I
us?
just told him, I was like, what are you doing this way?
You know what's, no wonder he said, Rick, I want you to mentor me. Can I take you out for coffee? And I'm like, yeah, sure, yes, but we haven't done it yet.
That's crazy. You should be doing this. I don't know. I don't know. You have spare time. What are you doing?
Okay. So the only last thing I would say for automation that we're going to talk about, but this is going to be months down the road, is the firm that we are working with, Nona Digital, whatever. They're still proving themselves. If I see that they're willing to perform and they're going to take it to the next level of automation is, I've given them all the original files for our app, our phone app. They're saying that they can give us a proposal. Okay. What in the world is that?
That was your boy.
He got gangster, didn't
Are you talking about that ROI calculator?
he? Yes. So what they're saying is, and this is their proposal, if everything goes well, they can develop our app so that if we have a webinar, it populates in the webinar there. So you can click and watch a webinar. Or if you want to look at notes to buy, you can click and it'll show the notes that we put available there for a passive investor. If you're an active investor, you can click active, passive, whatever, and then in the app, you integrate with it. So if we have a population reminder of a deal that's going on, you can literally hit a button and it'll populate. Everybody that has the phone will get a notification to look into this. So they're saying that is the way to do it, but it's not going to be cheap. So I am not going to commit to it unless if these guys prove to me that they're worth their salt. Because Right now, they're a little late, like a month late. So I'm not happy about that. But they've kind of made up for a few of those things. So,
Well, it's-
not yet.
She's not selling it.
Okay, so we'll find out.
Damn.
Have they gone live, by the way?
No.
Okay. Have you had any referrals? Or anybody log in, sign in?
Yes.
How many?
I have a spreadsheet.
I'm telling you, she's out there hustling.
Araceli's?
I think none of this should just get a deal. I think she got somebody to sign up for the webinar and remind her because she doesn't have one.
Oh, yeah?
She asked me to send it to her.
Dude, she's a beast, man.
We have 6 people signed up.
So far.
Okay.
I'm gonna send it to this lady from yesterday.
All under
too.
you.
She's got a,
All under me. So that just shows one post on Facebook. That's all I've done.
I posted on Facebook and LinkedIn.
The what? Well, if Alex would post it, we'd probably get like 100.
I don't post anything on Facebook.
Why? Pooper.
Nobody cares about anything I post.
I care.
Look at that.
The post is like the person that likes it like 15 seconds afterwards.
She's supportive.
I am.
She's an encourager. Awesome. So let's finish this meeting
Oh, I just
again.
got one for Sam.
Oh, you going for Sam? Great. You just posted one online. So again, the goal here is automate all this, and then if these guys prove their weight, then we'll integrate everything into the actual software. So then, Steve, you're pitching everybody, go into this software and click on passive, and then all the you do the same thing. So whenever we have a note for sale that we send you, we plug it in, and it notifies a passive investor who said, I'm interested in passive. Here's a note available. Call Steve.
so awesome.
With all the numbers and pretty pictures, you just click on passive and here's the 5 loans that are available right now for sale.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think that would be sick.
You really would.
That would totally separate us from everybody else. Yeah, Steve would be like, hey guys,
I could see you just.
I'm
Hold on, let me send you-
busy.
send
Just
you a link.
download the app for goodness sake. That would be amazing. I mean, that would really be incredible.
I mean, if you get like see like and it's cool because you have the different variations of price point. It's like where are you at? How much risk are you willing to take to see if we're real? You know, like take a Tesla that's 100,000.
Oh wow, they just created real estate made simple. I guess who did that? Nona Digital? Yeah, 6 p.m. tomorrow. They put that in there. Tickets available is capitalgroup.com. What the freak?
I don't know.
Why do they put the address of the office like we're going to be here? Oh yeah, they have their Nona Digital, so they created their own event.
Okay,
They're marketing our webinar.
good.
Okay, so we'll end the meeting recording now, so it's not overkill. But
Okay.
Bye. Bye. No,
You, by you. That's what it's